when I talk to some of my friends who are working with depression, I see they're frozen, and I meet students working with depression, working with meditation for the first time, and I see that their hearts are locked up. And I've experienced this myself in so many situations, particularly around fearful situations. Uh, but yet I'm speaking to you who've actually experienced intense physical paralysis, not only just, and maybe all of the above, maybe also the heart and the spiritual and the emotional. Um, what it, and from talking to you, it feels like you've really worked on your path tremendously to relate with that paralysis, to actually overcome it. Maybe even, I don't know if that's the right word. So I'm asking, what kind of advice would you have for somebody who's experiencing all the various forms of paralysis that there are?
Well, the thing that comes to me is the expansion with the expansion of consciousness. We're constantly going to be, have to fight the gravity pull of our conditioning, of complacency. This is why we practice. This is why we have to continue on our practice, day in, day out, pushing ourselves, pushing our limits, because we're going to always want to confine right back into that small way of thinking. So the journey is the rest of our lives. Because if I became liberated and whatever that means for 10 years ago, well, I lived, 30 years unliberated. Those are 30 years of behavior, habits that we've created that that have always have the potential to come back if we let it in. Because it's a comfort, it's something that's known to us. So this is why we have to stay on our practice and keep the people around us, keep everything that we're up to, keep it consistent. That's what I live by.
What about if somebody doesn't have a practice to stay on? Then what would you say to them?
Well, we got to get one. Because, hey, we got to get one. Because, we've all been hurt. We've all been to, this from the extreme to the subtleties. We've got a bunch of, combinations of all this just residing in us. And man, it's, we have to deal with that, and this is why even in relationships, if you don't have a personal practice and to some degree, I mean, what do we have to really, how can we really connect? Because it's just a matter of time before you put all that you have going on unresolved on me. I don't want that.
Even if you do have a practice, you still get it. And you still get
Yes.
it.
So we're playing the odds. We're playing the odds.
It's true. Oh, it's so true.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so the advice is get a practice. It's needed. That's what I'm
It's
hearing.
so needed.
It's
It's needed.
it's
Work
needed.
on yourself. Get better. You see athletes, you see any interviews, they're always talking about, I got to get better. I got to get better. And they're developing as a player on the field for a purpose. I'm suggesting we create that same platform but as a human being to develop in the realms of patience, compassion, love, all these types of things. We have so much room to develop and grow into that we haven't even scratched the surface. So that's the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And a lifetime to play.
Lifetime to play. Lifetime to play. Someone had this, it was a little girl at the event. She had this hula hoop. I was like, it wasn't my plan to film this. Someone was walking with me with the camera, and they just so happened had me film. And I like, can I see your hula hoop? And I just used it on my arm, and I was spinning and spinning. I'm like, you posted that? You posted that, jeez.
No
But it
privacy.
was no privacy. But it was so cool though. It's like that's what it's about, really. That's just to be free and have fun.
Yeah.
Life is short.
Yeah.
Celebrate it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.